Now, I'm gonna be honest here. This SmackDown was actually decent. There was good moments from this show, right? We had some well, was it really shocking since it was pre-taped? We knew Carmelo Hayes was going to be the new United States champion, but it's still nice to have some change, right? A new champion is always nice to have, and Carmelo Hayes deserved it, right? He hasn't been a champion for basically 2 years, and he was the top pick out of NXT, and everyone else had their opportunity, and now Carmelo Hayes finally got it. So it's nice to see, right? Drew McIntyre had a great promo at the end of the show, coming at Cody Rhodes, basically, made fun of his dead father, which is very personal, very personal. And Cody Rhodes got mad. He then assaulted Nick Aldis, who was trying to hold him back, and he turned around and just got claymored by Drew McIntyre. So Cody Rhodes was slumped, ending the show. Now, I really hope Drew McIntyre beats Cody Rhodes for this championship. We need a new champion. WWE needs a new champion. SmackDown needs a new champion. And, Cody Rhodes, he's not horrible, right? In my opinion, he's a mid-card guy, right? He's a great mid-card guy. You can have him at the top of your mid-card or as your world champion. But as your main champion, it's just not working. I really don't know what other stories Cody Rhodes can tell at this point, right? He finished his story. He finished his story with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns hasn't been, he's been in and out every, few months. Who knows what's happening with Roman Reigns? I think it's time to move on and tell new stories and push more characters. Now, another thing that I liked from the show, they showcased some new talent like Trick Williams. They showed Trick Williams talking with Nick Aldis. See, I'm still annoyed that, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are basically the same character. We need new GMs badly, and they need to get some characters. But, Trick Williams was there, and, he kind of got cut off by Cody Rhodes. So I think that may be a story they're going to tell in the future. And I love Trick Williams. I don't want to say he's my favorite out of Oba and Javon Evans. I think Oba is my favorite out of the three. But Trick Williams, man, he's probably the best mic worker out of those three. And I'm not going to say he's, The Rock-esque, but he's kind of similar, like a Hollywood Rock type of character. And it's very enjoyable. It's very fun. He's a very good heel, in my opinion. Now, we also had Joe Hendry show up in the show, and he opened the show with singing his song. Now, I'm not a fan of like the songs in WWE, but I think it's necessary, especially when it's a Christmas special and, you have people dressed as Santa Claus. You had Maxine Dupree. I'm pretty sure Maxine Dupree was there. I remember seeing Tozawa there, and Easter Bunny. That's interesting. Easter Bunny for Christmas. But yeah, the song he was singing, he basically was making fun of The Miz's tiny balls. And, The Miz is not going to have that. The Miz stands 10 toes down. And at this point, anyone who's new on the show, anyone who wants to make a name for themselves, you have to get past The Miz. That's what it looks like, right? Same thing with Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight in the past. And that was actually very interesting. If you guys remember LA Knight and The Miz, on and off for like 3 weeks straight, they had some really good promo battles. And honestly, I would say The Miz won, but they were pushing LA Knight at that time. But I like The Miz, man. I mean, his in-ring ability isn't great. He plays, he wrestles really soft. You can tell it's fake when The Miz is wrestling. But on the mic, it's not a lot of people can touch him on the mic. He can verbally assault a lot of people on this roster if they let him. Now, in this show, they also had a segment, a vignette of Aleister Black telling his side of the story against Damian Priest. Like anyone actually cares. I think this may be the most useless feud I've ever witnessed in WWE. And well, actually, there's a lot of useless feuds in 2025, to be honest. But this is just, what are they even fighting for at this point? Honestly, I don't even want to remember what Aleister Black said in that vignette. Another feud that is just horrifying at this point is Jade Cargill, Michin, and B-Fab. This is another feud that has been going on for over a year. And yes, this has been going on before Jade was even the world champion. But it's still going on. It's still continuing. And at this point, I don't even want to know what this feud is about. I really don't. It's just a filler feud. It's not important at all. So let's move on. Charlotte Flair versus Lash Legend. I mean, this match wasn't great. I mean, Lash Legend, she's a little slow in the ring. I don't know if she was tired or whatnot. I really don't know. Charlotte Flair won with a roll-up, so they kind of protected Lash Legend a little bit, which is not bad. I don't mind that. Now, I forgot to bring this up when I was talking about Carmelo Hayes, but when he won, after he won his championship, later on, he had an interview and he basically talked about how he wanted to revive the division. And he was thanking Ilya, he thanked, everyone who supported him and all that. And then guess who jumps him? Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano. So you get to so basically Ciampa and Gargano get to have their own individual matches, but Street Profits can't even show up on the show. Because DIY just look like regular guys. Let's be honest. You'll see a Johnny Gargano walking across at the supermarket, right? Ciampa looks like a PE teacher, okay? And these are Triple H guys. He's going to push his guys no matter what, even though they're, they may not be good in the ring. I mean, even though Gargano and Ciampa are good in the ring, I'm mostly talking about Jey Uso here. Because he pushed Jey Uso like he was like the next coming of John Cena for some reason. I really don't know what that was about. But, if you're a Triple H guy, you're going to be set no matter what. And if you're not, you're probably most likely going to get fired or just released. So, yeah, man. If you guys enjoyed this video, it was nice and quick. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.